Direct Messaging. Meaningful Use Core Measure number 15 states that any eligible provider that refers their patients to another setting of care or provider of care must provide a summary of care record for more than 50% of those transitions. We currently meet this measure by sending the HMP notes to those referred to provider. But wait, there's more. For over 10% of those referrals, the summary of care must be provided in an electronic format, essentially from your computer to theirs. Faxing will not account for this. The workflow for this is quite easy, and you may find yourself sending records in this way more and more often. What you will need is the provider's direct address. Don't be surprised if your office starts getting phone calls from other providers asking for your provider's direct address. Everyone should know this, and they are all in the same format. First name, last name, at pch.allscriptsdirect.net. So, for instance, Dr. Martin's direct address is Lisa Martin at pch.allscriptsdirect.net. By the way, not all addresses will be in this format, but all of the Allscripts providers are. Putnam County Hospital's address is ehr-direct@pchosp.hin.us. Any provider participating in Meaningful Use Stage 2 will have an address. After a referral has been made, you will need to open the patient chart and click on the menu tab at the top right. From here, you will choose the option of EPHI Export. It is very important to know that when you get this pop-up box, you will need to change this document type, Medical Record Summary, CCD, to the CCDA, CCD. So always go and change that to this middle option. This is the only one that will count for your meaningful use measure. Next, you will decide on which encounter you want to send to the referred to provider. It may be only the most recent, or it may be every one for the past year. You decide. When you highlight on an encounter, you will be able to preview it in the preview pane to see if it applies. After you have selected your encounters, you can move on to documents as well as test results. So I'm going to add this medication note, and it takes just a moment. And I'm going to add child visit, and then my documents. This is a test patient, so there are no documents for a TME test. I can change the date range for the past 2 years if I need to, but again, as this is a test patient, there aren't any documents. Just double click on what you want to send. You can also view and edit what you are sending by clicking this View and Edit button. This brings up everything that you have chosen to send. It is easy to make changes from here. If you do not want to include a vena puncture code, you can remove it simply by unchecking the box. If you do make any changes, make sure you click Apply before leaving the screen. If you have already added the direct address, you can export it from the screen. Otherwise, just click Apply and close this out. We need to add the address of who we're sending this document to. For this example, we're going to use Putnam County Hospital. So again, their address is ehr-direct@pcHosp.hin.us. We will also enter the front field so that this doctor gets credit for this in their meaningful use reports. And then at this point, we can simply export all. And it's telling us that the document's sent to Allscripts Community Direct Messaging. You can go to the output queue and see that this has been exported. If you double click on this, you can actually see what was exported, as well as the action history. But wait, what about receiving records through the EPHI or electronic private health information, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. You will find these in two different areas, either in the provider's inbox or in the EPHI notifications here on the right. If you do not see ePHI notifications on your screen, it has been hidden as we have not been using it in the past. To see it, you will click on your wrench and just make sure that this has a red circle with a line through it. The plus sign means it's hidden. Just make sure you change it to the red line, and now you have your ePHI notifications. Here you will see that Dr. Mendelson has 2 notifications sent from System Manager, but that is the default for now. Go ahead and click Open or double click, and then click on the document so you can see what is being sent. You have the option to delete, reply, or forward as you would any other type of message. You would not want to reply. That would just only go to System Manager. But there may come a time when you want to forward it or even delete it if the patient never calls your office for an appointment. We can import the information into the chart, and we're just going to click Import Wizard. If the patient has no chart information on the right side of the screen, we're going to go ahead and search for our test patient. Adult male test, and double click here. And this way we're verifying that this is a patient match. If it is an established patient, a lot of times this will already be filled in for you, and then you will match it from there. Be careful. We want to make sure we are applying records to the correct patient. After confirming that the patients are in fact the same, click on the Start button at the bottom of your screen. Here you can choose which of these options you want to import, if any. You control what comes into the patient chart just as you were able to control what is going out. Click Next. Sometimes you will have unrecognized allergies. These are allergies that are not crossing in a way the system can recognize. You can click on the allergy and then match it to a standard code. You can also go to the next screen and see the recognized allergies to make sure you are not duplicating your work. This patient doesn't have any unrecognized allergies or medications, so it's taking us straight to the medications field. Basically, the ePHI document is stating that the patient is taking these medications, but they're not in the Allscripts chart. So we choose if we want to add these to the patient's history. I will add Norvasc and indomethacin, but there's no reason to add Norvasc twice, so I'm just going to go ahead and click Next. Again, there's problems in past medical history in the ePHI document that does not match our patient chart. We choose whether we want to add these into the patient chart, and I choose yes, so I'm going to click Next. And here's our summary. These are the things that we have added or decided not to add. There's no duplicated allergies or medications, only the ones that were in our chart to begin with. There were no duplicated problems, but we did add these. And so we're going to click Finish when we're happy with what we're bringing into the patient chart, and that's it. Now in the patient chart, you can see that the ePHI import summary appears by System Manager. It's loaded into the patient chart, and again, if you would need to print this, you can if the provider wants to see this. But this is all of the information that was in that ePHI document. This is a fairly new feature in Allscripts, and with each new upgrade, it will become better and more user-friendly. I am already looking forward to the ability to add direct addresses into our referral caregivers' property boxes, just like a phone number or fax number. Then all we have to do is pull the provider's name, and we will not have to type the address in at all. That is coming very soon. The biggest thing to take away is that it's easy to send records this way, if only a little painful to receive them. This should be an easy, meaningful use measure to meet. Thanks again for watching this tutorial on our direct messaging.